Hey there. This is Daniel's voice. I have to say whatever German dudes tells me to. Not that I have my own opinion, but I love German dude. If you do too, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. What's something the internet killed that you miss? Having a mental catalog of great jokes that most people hadn't heard. It was so much fun to drop a few at parties and get some laughs. I remember how people like that were always the best to have around. They were like joke wizards. That was me. Now it only works with my parents and other baby boomers. Going through life without worrying about somebody taking a video of you and positing it for everybody to see. I feel like I missed out in college because anytime the slightest thing happened at college, people would instantly whip their phones out. And this was 6 years ago. I can't imagine what kids go through now. It's been 25 years since I was in college. I wish we had phones with cameras back then. A lot of faded memories of people and places that I wish I had photos of. If you were exceedingly dumb or had terrible ideas, your reach was really only your direct circle of friends. Now idiots can broadcast their ideas across the planet with a click. The village idiots have gone global. And now they can congregate. I'm seeing a few people say movie rental stores. I think specifically the moment when mom and dad say let's go rent movies tonight and you knew you were in for a night of staying up late and eating junk food. Those were the days, man. Yep. My parents would give us a rating limit and let each of us choose one so we could watch them during the weekend. It was always a fight to the death who got their movie Friday night. I'm glad most of us grew up together in a way. I get tired of hearing insane stories of meth head parents or creepy cousins or whatever. Blockbuster movie night is as nostalgia inducing as it gets. Video game secrets. It was really cool hearing kids talk about if you beat every person in a row without losing, you fight a secret boss in Street Fighter 2. And the only way you'd actually know for sure is if it happened in front of you and being the first to speed news of secrets and Easter eggs among your group of friends. Now you can look up whatever you want to know and where to find any object in almost every game there is. I miss playground rumors. And when games had genuine mystery. Did you know, if you beat Metroid fast enough, Samus takes off all of her clothes? Depending on the people, that alone would have been a fight. Very few people actually finish that game. User-generated web content with no thought to advertising, search engine optimization, monetizing. SEO is an industry I would love to see die in a fire. It has the worst incentives. It encourages people to make garbage content stuffed with keywords and other tricks. I've seen people here on Reddit complain about how recipe sites have lots of bullshit fluff content that is entirely due to SEO. It also encourages an entire scam industry of people who claim to know all the new tricks whenever Google decides to change their opaque processes algorithms. I've seen small business owners fork over thousands of dollars for SEO. Yeah, screw SEO. There is now a work culture of always being reachable by email or text for whatever happens. A lot of places expect you to be pretty much on call even when you're not at the office anymore. I worked at an ad agency where days off sometimes didn't even feel like that, because I would still be getting emails about things and was expected to be checking them. There should be some level of balance between work and personal life, and I feel like that is fading because so many places are adapting this type of culture, especially startups. I used to work at an accounting firm where that was the expectation. Never again. That shouldn't be acceptable. It isn't at my office. I'd never be okay with the boss calling me after work hours except in very rare circumstances. Got to have a work-life separation. Saturday morning cartoons. As I get older, I realize the ritual of a thing is just as important as the actual thing itself. It's not just about the cartoons. Watching them as an adult, many of the cartoons from the 80s and early 90s were terrible. Rather, it was the event of Saturday morning cartoons that I miss. My daughters can watch whatever they want whenever they want to watch it. They don't know what it is like to have to wait for a week for a new episode. They usually just binge their shows whenever they want. If my kids want to spend the entire weekend watching My Little Pony, they can. And they can do it the week after, too. They don't know what it is like to miss an episode of Power Rangers because it was now scheduled at 7 AM instead of 6:30 and I had to leave for school. They also don't have to watch TV together. They can just watch whatever on their phones or tablets or on the TV in the living room. Nothing, except my wife and I, stop them from consuming the specific entertainment that they want. Edit. A stray period was bugging me. As someone who grew up in the 70s and 80s, you said it. I was always up before cartoons came on, at 7 o'clock. There was some kind of animal show on at 6 AM. Then at 6:30, in the news came on. At 7 AM, the Super Friends came on. When that was over, I changed over to ABC to watch Scooby-Doo. Saturday morning cartoons were great. You couldn't see them any other day of the week. If you missed them, you had to wait a whole week before it was back on. Same thing with the holiday specials. If you missed it, you had to wait an entire year before you could see it again. No VCRs or anything to record it, you just had to wait. The Halloween cartoons were the ones I liked the most. It just wasn't Halloween unless you saw It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown and Disney's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Man, I miss those days. My dad says he misses having arguments with friends which could only be resolved by phoning whoever was most knowledgeable on a subject. For example, did you know lightning travels upwards? No, it goes down. Let's phone your dad, he's a meteorologist. I miss that, the sense of wonderment and imagining how something could work. Now, I can instantly end it with a search. I also miss the simplicity of doing something. For so many things, I find myself researching the multitude of ways to tackle something and feeling overwhelmed. Before, it would be one way, from a book. Just going over to your friend's house or the park unannounced to see if they were there and hang out. I miss this. When you had to physically go hunt your friend down and link all the clues you had together. Like, well, her mom said she left for the corner store like 10 minutes ago, but her bike is parked at the river so she probably took X path to get there and blah 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 until you found them, lol. Now if you try to do this, you just find out they're busy with something else, or they get weirded out like you're trying to stalk them. Yard sales, garage sales and flea markets. People still have them, but it's way harder to find stuff at a good price. eBay and Amazon have ruined that, because everybody just looks up what things are selling for. And sometimes eBay is ridiculously inflated. I found a rare Nerf gun that we had been looking for at a flea market once, and the lady was charging $150, because that was the going rate on eBay. People are always selling action figures in crappy condition for $20, because they don't realize that that price is mint in box, and all of the arms and legs are required. Like, I just wanna grab a TMNT toy for my kids. I'm not paying $20 for your broken toy. It used to be about persistence and digging up a good deal somewhere. Now, I may as well just buy it off of eBay. The cost is the same and my house smells better than most of the people at the flea markets. People throwing garage sales don't seem to understand that garage sales are meant for getting rid of unwanted stuff. Getting money for it is just a bonus. You need to price that stuff at the point where you get a little something, but it still flies off the table, or you gotta be open to haggling. If you want top dollar, go on Craigslist, price it fairly, and drop the price gradually until it's gone. At Disneyland, after you had ridden on the Haunted Mansion ride, you could ask a member of staff to provide you with a special secret death certificate to say that you died on the ride. Obviously it's not legally binding. It was a secret, but when I was younger and visited Disneyland, my mother heard someone request it, and after asking them about it, then we all got one. Unfortunately, with the advent of the internet, the secret got out and too many people were asking for death certificate, so Disney in their infinite wisdom scrapped the little Easter egg. I've since lost mine and had one day hope to get one for my child. AOL chat rooms. Around 2006-ish, the internet moved from being a way to talk to new people to a way to keep talking to people you already know. That's super useful and all, but there was a lot to be said for building friendships with total strangers who you only knew by username, but would still chat to every night. It was part of the internet of discovery rather than the internet of familiarity. I miss it, at times. It was nice to have it be so easy to build those connections. I like your phrase, the internet of discovery vs the internet of familiarity. It's a really good description.